Mr. Speaker. I can recall, Mr. Speaker, that in each of all those presidencies, there were moments when they sat back and reflected with colleagues from across the floor, Mr. Speaker. And in fact, back then it was easy, Mr. Speaker, because presidents were members of parliament, and therefore they would dialogue easily, sometimes either through motions such as this, or even presently on the floor of the House of Parliament, Mr. Speaker, for which quite a number of us in this House, including yourself, Mr. Speaker, had the opportunity to serve in that particular House, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, I want to urge my colleagues respectfully that let us support this motion, agree with the proposal to send our colleagues to go and listen to each other, give them your blessings, share with them whatever thoughts. We know you have different opinion on many of these issues. Mr. Speaker, in fact, I will report to the House that in the last meeting that we had last week, Mr. Speaker, we have already framed the issues and reduced onto the agenda of what our colleagues from the minority side considered that are issues that are worth conversing about, and those that we felt, Mr. Speaker, needs to be conversed about from the majority side, Mr. Speaker. And we have 5 key or thematic areas, Mr. Speaker, of which tomorrow, when we meet, Mr. Speaker, at the Bomas of Kenya, Mr. Speaker, we shall be considering. Some are of a constitutional nature, some are legislative, some are policy. Mr. Speaker, we shall sit down and agree. Where, for one reason or the other, we are not able to agree, we will come back and report to this House, Mr. Speaker, where our colleagues will have the opportunity to speak and share of whatever thoughts or whatever ways they feel many of those issues need to be resolved, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I believe we are doing this in the best interest of the country. I know people have varied opinion about what they imagine, what they think about this particular issue. I want to give assurance to our colleagues in the House, Mr. Speaker, because I know that initially, when the agenda was listed, one particular issue that is quite key to members of this House, which is entrenchment of various funds, Mr. Speaker, into the Constitution. The Senate Oversight Fund didn't feature. With me, Mr. Speaker, I have an advance copy of the agenda for which we shall agree on tomorrow, Mr. Speaker. And under that particular agenda item of entrenching funds into the Constitution, listed as number 1 is the Senate Oversight Fund, the National Government Constituency Development Fund, National Government Affirmative Action Fund, alongside, Mr. Speaker, other outstanding constitutional matters, issues to do with electoral justice and related matters, the restructuring of IBC. Mr. Speaker, you know we passed a law here, I think in the beginning, towards the end of the second session, Mr. Speaker. Many people held different views about it. We know that there is an already established election committee that is continuing with its work, Mr. Speaker, but nothing stops us. That is a matter that is strongly under the purview of the members of parliament, who include the senators that are here, to come back to the House and say, wait a minute, this is a proposal that we gave of the 7 members of a selection panel, but perhaps we hold a different